The Twilight Zone, 1959–1964. 20 Weird Facts That You Did Not Know. Before streaming gave us Black Mirror, before horror became prestige television, before mind-bending twists were expected every episode, there was a show that changed everything about storytelling on TV. The Twilight Zone was not just a series. It was a revolution disguised as entertainment. Rod Serling smuggled profound messages past network censors using aliens and monsters and time travel. But the real story behind those famous twist endings is stranger than any episode ever filmed. From deadly on-set accidents to government surveillance. From banned episodes to hidden meanings. Today you are about to enter a dimension of imagination where the behind-the-scenes facts are weirder than the fiction itself. Before we dive into video, please subscribe to our channel. So prepare yourself for a journey beyond sight and sound. We are about to explore the shadows behind the show that defined science fiction television forever. These 20 facts will make you see the Twilight Zone in an entirely different dimension. Number 1. Rod Serling wrote 92 of the 156 episodes himself. This fact is absolutely mind-blowing when you think about it. Rod Serling personally wrote 92 episodes of The Twilight Zone. That means he wrote more than half the entire series. Most show creators today write maybe a few episodes per season. Serling was churning out brilliant scripts constantly. He would write all night smoking cigarettes endlessly. He sometimes finished entire scripts in one sitting. The quality never dropped despite the insane quantity. Each episode had unique characters and fresh ideas. His work ethic was superhuman by any standard. No other creator has matched this output of original content. Number 2. CBS censored Serling's political messages constantly. Before The Twilight Zone, Rod Serling was furious with television censorship. Networks kept blocking his political commentary in dramas. Sponsors would threaten to pull funding over controversial topics, so Serling got clever and used science fiction as cover. Aliens could discuss racism without naming it directly. Time travel could explore war without mentioning Vietnam. Robots could debate humanity while discussing civil rights. The censors missed most of these hidden messages completely. Serling later said fantasy was his Trojan horse. He snuck radical ideas past conservative network executives. The show was secretly one of the most political on television. Number 3. A deadly accident happened during filming of the movie. This is the darkest fact about the Twilight Zone legacy. During the 1983 movie production, a helicopter crashed. Actor Vic Morrow and 2 child actors were killed instantly. The accident happened while filming a Vietnam War scene. The helicopter was flying too low during explosions. The tragedy changed Hollywood safety standards forever. Director John Landis faced criminal charges for negligence. The trial became a media sensation for years. The accident cast a permanent shadow over the franchise. Those 3 deaths haunt the Twilight Zone history still. Number 4. William Shatner's Gremlin episode saved his career. Nightmare at 20,000 Feet is probably the most famous episode ever. William Shatner played a man seeing a creature on an airplane wing. But here is what most people do not know. Shatner was nearly broke when he got this role. His career was struggling badly before this episode. The performance reminded producers he could act. It led directly to his Star Trek casting later. One Twilight Zone episode changed his entire life trajectory. Without that gremlin, Shatner might never have become Captain Kirk. Number 5. The theme song was created in just 2 weeks. That haunting theme music everyone recognizes was rushed completely. Composer Marius Constant had only 2 weeks to create it. He was actually working on something else entirely. The producers needed music fast and cheap. Constant combined 2 separate pieces he had lying around. The result became the most recognizable TV theme ever. Those 4 notes create instant atmosphere still. The rushed job became a masterpiece by accident. Sometimes deadlines produce genius through pressure. Number 6. Rod Serling was only 5 feet 4 inches tall. Television made Rod Serling seem like a towering figure. His presence on screen was commanding and powerful, but in reality he was quite short. He stood only 5 feet 4 inches tall. Camera angles and positioning hid this fact. He often stood on boxes during his introductions. His deep voice made him seem larger too. This height insecurity affected him throughout life. He overcompensated with intense physical fitness. He boxed and exercised constantly to build strength. The man who loomed large in culture was physically small. Number 7. Many episodes were based on short stories Serling bought for $500. Rod Serling was brilliant at finding great stories cheaply. He would buy rights to short stories for just $500. Then he would adapt them into episodes worth thousands. Authors like Richard Matheson sold stories for almost nothing. These became classic episodes that aired forever in syndication. The writers got no residuals from reruns ever. Serling made a fortune from their ideas basically. This was standard practice then, but seems unfair now. Many great science fiction writers were exploited this way. Number 8. The show was canceled twice due to low ratings. Hard to believe, but the Twilight Zone struggled with ratings constantly. It was canceled after Season 3 originally. Fans protested and it came back briefly. Then it was canceled again after Season 5. The show was too weird for mainstream audiences then. It found its real audience in syndication later. Generations discovered it through afternoon reruns instead. The initial failure became eventual triumph over time. Sometimes great art needs time to find its people. Number 9. Serling sold his rights for almost nothing. This is the most tragic business fact about the show. Rod Serling sold his share of the Twilight Zone for pennies. He needed quick money for other projects desperately. He gave up all future syndication rights. The show went on to make hundreds of millions. Serling never saw a penny of that money. He died relatively poor considering what he created. His widow struggled financially for years afterward. The creator of the most valuable TV property got nothing. This remains one of Hollywood's worst deals ever. Number 10. The episode about nuclear war terrified Americans. Time Enough at Last showed nuclear war aftermath. Burgess Meredith played the last man on Earth. The episode aired during peak Cold War paranoia. Many viewers had panic attacks watching it. Some called CBS demanding it never air again. The network received thousands of complaint letters. Parents said children had nightmares for weeks. The realistic portrayal of atomic destruction was too much. Serling had to defend the episode publicly. He said Americans needed to face nuclear reality. The controversy proved television's power to disturb. Number 11. Several banned episodes never aired in certain states. Some Twilight Zone episodes were too controversial for certain markets. Episodes dealing with racism were banned in southern states. The one about book burning upset conservative areas. Some stations refused to air specific episodes entirely. The network had different versions for different regions. This censorship was kept secret from viewers. People in different states saw different shows basically. The full series was not available everywhere until cable. Regional censorship shaped what Americans saw differently. Number 12. Robert Redford's first TV role was on the show. Before becoming a Hollywood legend, Robert Redford was nobody. His very first television appearance was on The Twilight Zone. He played Death in an episode called Nothing in the Dark. He was young and unknown and desperate for work. The role required him to be charming and mysterious. His performance impressed casting directors who watched. This led to more TV work immediately after. The Twilight Zone launched another superstar career. The show was a proving ground for future legends. Number 13. Rod Serling smoked 4 packs of cigarettes daily. Serling's smoking habit was absolutely extreme even for that era. He smoked 4 packs every single day without fail. That is 80 cigarettes consumed daily. He smoked while writing and editing constantly. He smoked during meetings and meals. The cigarettes helped him think, he claimed. His voice got its distinctive sound from smoking. but it destroyed his health completely over time. He had multiple heart attacks before age 50. The cigarettes that fueled his creativity killed him. He died at just 50 years old. Number 14. The show predicted multiple future technologies. The Twilight Zone predicted numerous technologies that became real. Episodes showed flat-screen TVs decades early. They depicted portable communication devices like cell phones. Virtual reality appeared in several episodes. GPS tracking was shown before satellites existed. Face transplant surgery was depicted as science fiction. Self-driving cars appeared in one episode. The writers imagined futures that actually happened later. Their speculation became reality in many cases. The show was accidentally prophetic about technology. Number 15. Mickey Rooney's episode was the most expensive. The Last Night of a Jockey was insanely expensive to produce. Mickey Rooney demanded a huge salary to appear. The special effects cost a fortune too. The episode required complex camera tricks throughout. It became the most expensive episode ever made. The budget nearly bankrupted that season's production. Ironically, the episode is rarely mentioned today. The massive expense produced a forgettable result. This taught producers to avoid star salaries. Better episodes were made for far less money. Number 16. The narration was added because test audiences were confused. Originally, there was no narrator planned for the show. Rod Serling's famous introductions were not supposed to exist, but test audiences found the stories too confusing. They needed someone to explain what was happening. Serling reluctantly agreed to add narration segments. He wrote and filmed them quickly between episodes. These introductions became the show's signature element. His presence tied everything together perfectly. The accident of confused viewers created television history. Number 17. A secret government file existed on Rod Serling. The FBI kept surveillance files on Rod Serling for years. They considered him a potential communist sympathizer. His anti-war messages attracted government attention. Agents attended his speeches and lectures regularly. They tracked his associations with liberal causes. The file was released decades after his death. It revealed extensive government paranoia about his influence. The creator of a fantasy show was seen as dangerous. This proves how seriously authorities took television's power. Number 18. Many famous directors got their start here. The Twilight Zone was a training ground for legendary directors. Richard Donner directed multiple episodes before Superman. Sidney Pollack worked here before winning Oscars. Don Siegel cut his teeth before Dirty Harry. The show gave young directors creative freedom. They could experiment with unusual techniques safely. The anthology format meant failure was not fatal. Each episode was a fresh start basically. These directors learned their craft in the zone. They took those lessons to massive film careers. Number 19. The show influenced every science fiction series after. Name any science fiction show from the last 60 years. It was influenced by the Twilight Zone somehow. Star Trek borrowed its moral storytelling approach. Black Mirror is basically a modern version entirely. The X-Files used similar mysterious atmosphere. Lost employed the same twist-ending structure. Every anthology series owes a debt here. The DNA of the Twilight Zone exists everywhere. It created the template everyone still follows. Modern TV would be unrecognizable without its influence. Number 20. Rod Serling died during heart surgery at age 50. The saddest fact is saved for last here. Rod Serling died during what should have been routine surgery. He was only 50 years old at death. Decades of smoking had destroyed his heart completely. He had already survived multiple heart attacks. The surgery was supposed to save his life. Instead, complications killed him on the operating table. He left behind hundreds of unwritten stories. His death robbed us of decades more genius. The man who created immortal television died far too young. So now you know the truth about the Twilight Zone. Behind those twist endings and moral lessons was a show born from frustration and censorship and creative genius. Rod Serling turned network restrictions into artistic triumphs. He transformed science fiction from kids' stuff into serious drama. The 20 facts we explored today reveal something profound about creativity. Great art often comes from limitation and struggle. Serling could not say what he wanted directly. So he invented new ways to speak truth. He wrapped important ideas in entertaining packages. He made audiences think while they were being amazed. Consider what the Twilight Zone achieved in just 5 seasons. It changed television narrative forever. It launched countless careers. It predicted multiple futures accurately. It tackled subjects other shows could not touch, all while pretending to be simple fantasy stories. The show worked because it respected its audience completely. Serling believed viewers were smart enough to understand symbolism. He trusted them to recognize deeper meanings. He never talked down or oversimplified ideas. This respect created a devoted following that continues today. Modern television owes everything to the Twilight Zone. The idea that genre shows can be prestige television started here. The notion that science fiction can discuss serious topics began with Serling. Every twist ending on every show today connects back to this source, but perhaps the greatest legacy is the phrase itself. Saying someone entered the Twilight Zone instantly conveys a meaning. It describes a place where reality bends and nothing is certain. We all understand that reference immediately. A TV show became part of language itself. The tragedy is that Rod Serling never knew his true impact. He died thinking he was a failed playwright who settled for television. He never saw how his creation influenced generations of storytellers. He never knew that professors would teach his episodes in universities. He never realized he had changed entertainment forever. That is the ultimate Twilight Zone twist. The man who created immortal television died believing he had failed. But his work lives on in every ambitious TV show that dares to be different. Every time television surprises us or makes us think differently, we are in Rod Serling's debt. Thank you for joining me in this dimension of imagination and fact. Next time you see that famous signpost up ahead, remember the man who guided us there. Your next stop is wherever great television takes you.